Can you sing for us?
Reach somebody else in their sincere place.
Everything that's supposed to be will be.
Find other things. Try something that you wouldn't do.
It comes down to a practice.
When you're not next to me.
Yo, what's up, dude? Good to see you guys. Good to see. No, you're good. You're good. You're good, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for doing this. Heck yeah. Thank you guys. JJ, what's up, bro?
How are you, man?
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, bro.
Heck yeah. All right, yo, guys, we got 3 mics here. We'll, I'll give you one first.
Okay.
If you guys are all right, we'll take a couple questions from the kids. Anybody got any questions? Back there, I saw go up first.
Hi. I am a singer, songwriter myself. I just dropped my EP Anyway, my question is, what is the best thing for me to do as far as social media networking, possibly like going other places and stuff like that, just to get myself more out there? Because what I found difficult is if somebody posts a picture and wearing a cool outfit, it gets 1,000 views, but then when you post a song of yours, it gets 100. So it's like, how can I get some more views and some more attention from that? Just give myself.
You post 10 of them, then you get 1,000. You know what I'm saying? You just you be relentless about it. Don't you worry about it. Because nobody will remember any of those ones that you might look at as, I mean, if it's 100 views, you might look at it as a failure. You know, I remember the first time that we had like posted the first cover that, you know, we started doing covers on YouTube, and we had 10,000 views on the first one, and I was like, yes, dude, we're partying tonight. This is crazy. 10,000 views, dudes, you know? And now, you know, if something doesn't get 1 million, I'm like, God, I'm washed up, you know? And it's, and the way that the, I guess, like, diminished returns works in your brain is that you feel like something might flop if it doesn't reach this level or this goal. And I think that this comparison game is always a rough thing to play, you know? I feel it's very hard to see somebody's success or somebody getting this and then to play the comparison game. I think I know you do that. And that's kind of what social media is. Everybody just puts their best foot forward and looks like they're living the best amazing life, which is not reality, which is, you know, social media itself is just not a real life thing, you know, and we all have this life that we live that looks so extravagant when it's not all the time is. And so I would suggest that, like, no matter what that is, what I've learned on social media is, like, when leaning into your authenticity, all those struggles that you're having, be honest about those, and be as open as you're willing to be about things that are happening to you, and put that into the music. Be as willing to share and be vulnerable and honest and open about things that you're struggling with, and like things that you're insecure about. Like those things are authentic, are the things that I find that connect. It's not like where music is today. It's not the same way as like you get signed and then they give you the best song in the world, and then the best song and the best singer in the world just connects. It just doesn't do that anymore. It has to be so authentic to you. And so I would suggest, like, doing things that are sometimes, I feel like the most relatable things to me have been some of the things that are most specific about myself that I feel like nobody else would relate to. Instead of trying to be relatable or do something that might seem trendy, do something that just so left field, that's just so authentic to myself. And I find that connects a lot better. And again, just like hitting them on the head and never stopping, you know, because if something gets 100 views, then that's 100 people that saw it that'll move on with their life and never see it again. But when something does connect, they'll remember that, you know. And so it's only you're counting those failures, you know. Nobody else even notices them. So just be relentless. Just go out there, man. Just get it. You know, that's how I'd say.
There's also a quality to viewership. Like people will see content that might be something that, like, maybe it's like an attention grab on some level, and you might look at that as success if there's more views than yours. But I don't know, people can see a genuine person coming from a genuine place and showing the world something that they love. And I think that, you know, in a way, I think that that's a large part of success for us, was that coming across and being like long-term established, like, you know, love from people that see what's going on, and like I connect with that I see that that's genuine. So I don't know.
Yeah, introducing
bit.
yourself every day, you know.
It just comes more so from what comes from the heart will also touch the next heart. So the more that you do it from your own place of sincerity, the more it will reach somebody else in their sincere place.
I was actually just about to say something close to what Dre just said. I feel that no matter what, always keep you in every scenario. And if you do that, then everything that's supposed to be will be. And always remember, like, social media is fake. It was created for, I consider it an attention, a distraction. Like, that's clearly what it is. But if you can allow yourself to be bigger than that platform in real time, everything he's doing right now is because of his platform outside of social media. It's because it's not like, it's cool, like, yeah, I can be the coolest person for 60 seconds. That's super easy. Anybody can do 60, 30 seconds, 15, whatever the edit may be. Can you do that in real life? Can you be consistent enough with that, though? Like, it can't be like 1 or 2 days. It has to be a lifestyle. Like, it has to practice. So keep that, and if you keep that, and then, yeah, don't worry about it. The 100 will turn into 100,000, 100,000, that'll convert and continue. And you'll be fine. Then you'll be complaining. So enjoy it.
I was gonna ask, do you ever hit like a musical plateau where you feel like you can't come up with anything else? Or what do you do when that happens?
Yeah, that's when you have to find inspiration in other things, dude. It happens all the time, dude. You get, like, you're your own worst critic, you know what I mean? Like, if you're producing something, you're like, I've done this before 80 times, or I've done this riff before, you know? You just gotta find, like, beauty in other things, like, or read something, or go for a walk, like, open your mind to other things. Try something that you wouldn't do, like, try to remake Bohemian Rhapsody or something. I guarantee you it's not gonna sound the same as the actual record does, you know? Stuff like that.
This is also way easier advice to give than to actually put into action, but when you're in those moments, that's when it comes down to a practice and less of waiting on inspiration to drop from the heaven, you know? It's, you sit down and do the work, you put something down no matter what it sounds like, and you get something done. And then if it sucks, or if you don't like it later, then you accomplish something and it sucks. And then you move on to the next thing. But at least you're putting into practice, completing something, and, you know, moving forward.
Yes, sir.
At least you're moving in some way. You're staying consistent, you know, and you're still learning something throughout that process, even if you feel like you're not. Don't be too hard on yourself.
I would say that's like such a good word, you know. I feel personally, is even as we write sometimes on the road, I feel like I'm at this spot where, and it's also kind of, I can play keys a little bit, tiny bit of guitar. It sucks when you're surrounded by like monster musicians that have an infinite well of knowledge, it seems like, to me, you know, that I feel like I've been in the same spot with keys that I just like play the same looping things around, you know, and I just feel like I've like hit a wall with how much better I can get, you know, and I find that like no matter what though, there's one principle that I've tried to live by is that you know, inspiration, like if you only work when you're inspired to work on music, you know, whatever it is, if you're only working out of inspiration doesn't often hit you. It does, maybe sometimes you hear a great song or you hear somebody say something on a TV show that you're like, I gotta write something about that. But I find that motivation is always gonna create inspiration, you know what I mean? Motivation is gonna happen. So if you're just motivated to get up and go in there and write something, do something, whatever it is, just go in there and get it done, and you'll be surprised that something might click eventually. I don't know, but just keep throwing it at the wall until it happens. I think motivation will always create inspiration at some point, but inspiration doesn't always create the motivation to get up and do it, you know? And so I try to live by just being motivated and getting it done no matter what. And sometimes just changing the whole entirety of the thing. You know, if I'm writing for this thing, sometimes I'll just, let's write an 80s rock song, you know, or let's write a hip hop beat, and then all of us will just sit down and write a bad verse and just yell at the microphone for an hour together, and just to get myself out of the norm of the thing that we're supposed to sound like and that we're supposed to write in, because I found that a lot of times that the only time I've really ever come into like a writer's block or just a block at all is that when I wanted things to be good. And I free myself from trying to make things good, because as soon as you get into that place of this isn't good, or this isn't the hit, or this isn't the thing, or you're comparing yourself to whatever you're trying to reach to, then I think there's like that elf just kind of walks out of the room. You know, the muse just leaves. I think it's just going and doing it and getting it done and completing, like he said, you know.
I saw him go up over there. What do you got?
Can you sing for us? Yeah!
Yeah, okay. What do you want me to sing?
Lose the girls!
Wait. I don't know what key it is, man. Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Oh, out of my mind, how many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? It's taking a toll on me, trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? How's that? Thank you. Yeah, I was stupid to think I was getting out of here without singing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wish, buddy.
What you got way back there? I see you first.
Should goals be constant or minimized?
Should goals?
Yeah, goals.
Should goals be constant or minimized? Is that what your question is?
Oh. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, goals are great, you know. I would say have the giant goal, but I would say, I don't know really quite how to answer that, but my best answer would be to set little bitty ones, you know, and then on the steps to the big one, if you're just looking at the gigantic goal, it seems like forever away, but I'll just do tiny little goals every day. If I just get up this morning, if I just call my mom back, that's a goal. You know, sometimes I build little checklists in my phones, you know, of just things I do, especially at days that I feel like I'm getting nothing accomplished. I'll just write down like, wash your butt, you know, or like call your mom, you know, and then I'll sit like 10 of those and I'll just check those off today, and I was like, okay, I got something done today, you know. So I don't know if that answers the question, but like, you know, hit the gym, check, you know, just little goals I think add up to the main thing, you know, if that answers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And let that be a lesson to you, wash your butts.
Wash your butts.
Stay in school, wash your butts. I don't know, dude.
What inspired you guys to like start your music career? Like what like really like sparked that?
Well, for me and this guy, his dad was always playing in bands and stuff when we were growing up, you know, and his dad was the coolest guy ever. I went over to his house for the first time. We were in the 7th grade or going into the 8th grade, and his dad was playing Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi and singing it, and he had the whole setup downstairs in the basement, and I was like, dude, your dad is so cool, man. And so, yeah, he's the best, dude. This guy, Rodney Hampton, is the coolest, dude. And Jesse was always kind of fiddling with the guitar and getting good at it, you know. And so we used to, back in the day, there was MySpace, and me and him used to get off the bus, and we would like go, in your band, like your favorite band's MySpace, they'd have like the top 8, like of all these cool bands, and we'd find these bands, and we'd show up and show each other all these cool bands we found. And a lot of time it was like more metal and pop punk and like, you know, emo-y stuff back then, but we just would always share music and was trying to write tunes and was trying to start a band for the longest time. And so we just wanted to be like Jesse's dad, you know? And which is really cool because we have, he'd always used to tell us like, there's my favorite singer, my favorite guitarist. And he'd said that to us for years, even when we sucked really badly. And, you know, we just always like had him as a, I guess an icon to look at and be like, that guy's a rock star. I want to be like that guy, you know? And I think one for me too, I went to 2007 Warped Tour, and I got to see a bunch of cool bands. Like I saw Paramore for the first time, And just going to shows a lot, you know, like seeing like Chiodos and Bayside and all these cool bands playing. And I remember seeing guys on stage and being like, I gotta be that guy, you know? I gotta be him. I wanna be. There's this band Coheed and Cambria. This guy Claudio Sanchez did a stage dive, and I smelled his hair, and I was maybe 15, and it smelled like strawberries, and I was like, that's me, I gotta be that guy. Not that I have hair that smells like strawberries, but I just remember those moments, you know? It's everything to me.
What's your favorite tattoo you have?
My favorite tattoo is my buddy Derek right here. He started tattooing like, when he first started, he was about a year into tattooing when he started tattooing me, and he did so much of my work on my head and stuff, and he was kind of scared of getting into portraits of people, you know, and I think that was like, he was really good at drawing them, but he didn't want to like mess up somebody's grandma on them or something, you know. It's a terrifying thing trying to get into tattooing people's portraits, or like you mess up somebody's child and they look crazy. And so I had one time just told him like, look man, I believe in you. Why don't you do a portrait of yourself on me? Because you're not going to make yourself look bad on your best buddy, you know. And sure enough, he killed it. And so he, I think, you know, just believed in him to get it. And now he's crushing portraits all the time.
Buddy in the purple.
Can you swim?
I'm not much of a swimmer. No, I can paddle, you know.
I will give you one more question. One more.
Black shirt, black glasses back there? My man, what's up, dude?
I don't know if I should pursue my goal into music or not.
Yeah, always, man. You should do it, dude. Get into that music, man.
Whoever you're passionate about listening, like whoever you like to listen to in your spare time, figure out how to replicate that sound, figure out why you like that sound, figure out where that comes from, because likely they were inspired by somebody else. And figure out the origin of that, you know, and, you know, just dig into it and obsess over it, you know, and don't take it too seriously. I don't know, just do that and create and just get in there and do it. You don't have to be perfect.
And Ray Charles, man, that guy, that's my dude right there, bro. Ray Charles, Otis Redding, get into that, dog. Stevie Wonder, that's the guy.
Well, yo, guys, thank you so much for taking your day off to come hang out with us here.
This is Loyal to the Craft.